Okay, so the first set of notes, we are working on Unit 6.2a. Okay, so 6.2a. First thing we're going to do is we will be using properties of rational exponents. Okay, so basically all we're really going to be doing is simplifying things that have fraction exponents, okay, or simplifying roots. Okay, so all of your instructions are going to tell you to simplify. Okay, for all of your instructions you're going to simplify. For example number 1, I would like you to simplify the cube root, so 3 is in your handle, of 104 x to the third y to the 6th. Cube root, so that means the 3 is in your handle, of 104 x to the third y to the 6th. Zoom that in. So that means we need to have identical things in groups of 3. So we're just going to break everything down. So what does 104 break into? Well, we know it goes into 2, right, because it's even. So 2 and 52. Okay, cross it out once you're done so you don't get confused. Keep breaking it down. 52 breaks into 2 and 26. 26 breaks into 2 and 13. Okay, so remember I'm looking for groups of 3 things, so I have 3 2's. Okay, easiest way to break down letters is to write them all out. So x to the third is x, x, and x. Okay, so look, I have a group of 3 of them. It's going to go out, that's going to go out. Okay, y to the 6th, 6 y's. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember I'm looking for groups of 3, so I have 2 groups of 3. Okay, so everything that gets to come out, I'm going to have a 2, I have an x, and 2 y's, so y and another y. Okay, left behind is what? 13. Can anyone tell me what is wrong with this?
The 2 y's.
Okay, the 2 y's I can simplify, so 2xy squared. Now what's wrong? Can anyone tell me? Any ideas? What was my handle number when I started? 3. So that means the handle number has to stay 3. Okay? That's probably the biggest mistake that people will make on these is you forget to write down that handle number, okay, to keep it. So you have to keep that handle number. Whatever handle number you start with, that is what you will end with. Okay? That's your answer. So we're just simplifying on these. Okay, let's try another one. Number 2. Number 2, let's try 3xy squared cube root, of negative 27 x to the 6th y to the 8th. 3xy squared cube root of negative 27 x to the 6th y to the 8th. Now, first things first, how is this attached here? By add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Multiply. So whatever I can pull out is going to be multiplied by what's out front. Okay, so what can I break out of 27? Those break down to 3's, right? Are they going to be positive or negative 3's? Negative 3's. So negative 3, negative 3, negative 3. Okay, so that means I'm going to have a group of negative 3's. Those are going to be pulled out. If I write down all my x's, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. So I can take out how many groups of 3? 2 of them. Okay, and the y's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice I'm writing them in groups of 3's already. Okay, so I'm going to take out 1 group, 2 groups. Those are left behind. So out front we have a 3xy squared multiplied by, I can take out a negative 3. X to the what power? Second, because I have 2 groups of them. And y to the what power? Second, because I have 2 groups of them. There's y squared left behind. So leave behind your y squared and make sure you remember to put in that handle number of 3. Then just multiply these together. The 3 and the negative 3 are not canceling each other out. They're multiplying. So it's going to give you an answer of negative 9 x to the what power? Third. Remember, there's a 1 here. We add those together, so x to the third. Y to the fourth. Still cube root of y squared. Be really careful that you're writing your handle numbers in the handle. Don't write them out front. Okay, if you write it in front of it, it's being multiplied. So don't do that. Okay, be really careful on that. That's a big mistake that a lot of people will make. Okay, that's your answer. Anyone have questions so far? Hopefully that's not too bad. Okay, let's try another one for number 3. Number 3, I would like you to simplify the square root of 4/3. Square root 4/3. Now, technically, I don't have a handle number there. What is the handle number? 2. A 2. Okay, if there's nothing there, it's assumed to be a 2. Kind of like if you say, how old are you? You say 16. You don't have to say positive 16, right? We just know that it's positive. Same thing with these. If there's nothing there, we assume that it's a 2. Okay, so first thing you want to do with fractions is break them up. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 little roots. Root 4 over root 3. What does root 4 break into? Just 2. Can I break anything out of root 3? No. But remember, to get rid of this in the bottom, what's that called when I get rid of the denominator? Rationalize the denominator, right? Rationalize the denominator. Okay, now in our last unit, in unit 5, we multiplied to get rid of it. We're still going to do the same thing. I want to multiply so that I get a pair of 3's. So you're going to multiply by root 3 over root 3. Okay, because I want to get a pair so there's no more roots in the bottom. If I multiply this together, I get 2 root 3 over what? Whole 3. And that's your answer. Okay, I don't want any roots left in the denominator. No roots left behind in the denominator, ever. Okay, try another one for number 4. Example 4, I would like you to simplify root 4, the 4th root of 80 over 5. 4th root of 80 over 5. Any ideas? Where do you think I'm going to start here?
So to break down some fractions.
I do not want to break down the fractions first. Any ideas?
Divide.
Reduce. Can 80 over 5 reduce?
Yeah.
Yes, and you can reduce them because they are both underneath the same radical. How many times does 5 go into 80? 16. So this is really the 4th root of 16. Look, now I got rid of the denominator, so I'm not going to have to rationalize it away. Okay, so reduce if you can. Then what is the 4th root of 16? 2. That's your answer. That's it. Okay, so if you can reduce, you should first. Questions so far? No? Okay. Next one I want you to try for number 5. Example number 5. Again, I want you to simplify. Okay, simplify the 5th root of 3/4. Simplify the 5th root of 3/4. So first thing I want to look for is, can this reduce? Can anything reduce under here? No. So we're going to split this up. Okay, 5th root of 3 over 5th root of 4. Okay, what does this 5 tell you? That I have to have what? 5 identical things to make a group, right? Can I break down 4? What does it break down to be? 2 and 2. So I have 2 identical things, but I need to get to 5. So what do you think I'm going to multiply by here?
Root 4.
If I just multiply by a root 4, okay, don't write this down. If I just multiply by root 4, then I'll have 4 identical things, but I can't take anything out yet, right? So I would have, what do I have to multiply by? I can't just multiply by the same thing. If I have 2 identical things, how many more do I need to get out from under the radical? I need 3 more. So I'm going to multiply by 3 more. 2 times 2 times 2. Yes, technically 2 times 2 times 2 is the 5th root of 8. But it's easier sometimes when we write them out. Okay, so multiply again by the 5th root of 2 times 2 times 2. okay? Then in the top, nothing's going to come out. So I actually do multiply these together. It stays the fifth root. Okay, and multiply, what's 3 times 2 times 2 times 2? 3 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 24. Over, what happens in the bottom? I'm going to have a whole group of 5, so I can take out a whole 2. Now, can I reduce this 24 and the 2? No, you cannot reduce if something is under a radical with a whole number. Okay, that's the answer that we're looking for there. Questions on how I did that? No? Okay, let's try another one. Number 6. We're going to 9. Number 6, 15 over the fourth root of 27. 15 over the fourth root of 27. Okay, break anything out that you can, or break anything down that you can.
Whoa.
What breaks out of the fourth root of 27? 3 3s. So, can I take anything out? No. How many more do I have to multiply by to get a group? 1 more. Okay, so you multiply by the fourth root of 3 in both the top and the bottom. Okay, if I multiply that together, you're going to end up with a whole group. Okay, so we're going to end up with just a 3 in the bottom. What happens on the top? Do these multiply together, the 15 and the 3? No, this is an outside number. It's a whole number. And then you still have left behind the fourth root of 3. Now I can reduce because 15 and 3 are whole numbers. Okay, so those can reduce each other. That leaves you a 5 and a 1. Do I need to leave anything written on the bottom? No. So this answer is 5 fourth root of 3. Remember, that is multiplied next to each other. So 5 times the fourth root of 3. Okay, a couple more. Number 7. Okay, for number 7, 3x to the 1/2. 3x to the 1/2 power. Negative 1/2, excuse me. 3x to the negative 1/2. Anytime I have a negative, what do I have to do? Move it to the bottom, so make it a fraction. What's moving here? What's attached to the negative? Just the x, okay? The 3 does not move. Okay, this becomes 3x over x to the 1/2. Can't leave that in the bottom, so I want to rewrite it as a radical. So this is 3 over, the x goes underneath, power of 1, handle of 2, power 1, handle 2. So I can't leave an answer like that, so what would I have to multiply through by?
X, or root.
Another x, right? I have 1, I need to get a pair of 2. So we're just going to multiply by root x. Okay, multiply by root x. If you put the 2 in the handle, you can, that's fine. But if you don't, it's also okay because nothing being there implies that there's a 2. Okay, so we get 3 root x over a whole x. Seriously, these pencils are ridiculous. That's your answer. Can I reduce these x's, by the way? No, you may not. Okay, that's your answer. Number 8. Okay, number 8. Cube root of 2 over negative 3 cube root of 9. Cube root of 2 over negative 3 cube root of 9. Okay, let's break things out. What does 9 break into? 3 and 3. Okay, but I have to have 3 things to get out of there. So how many more do I need? 1 more. So we're going to multiply by a root 3. Cube root of 3. Okay? Since these have the same handle number, you can go ahead and multiply these together. So cube root of 2 multiplied by cube root of 3 is the cube root of 6 over negative 3 multiplied by what? Positive 3. These do not cancel each other out. Remember, they're multiplying together. So if you multiply those together, we get cube root of 6 over negative 9. Cube root of 6 over negative 9. Okay?